Hi guys, my name is Lucia and welcome back to another video in my series Make Up Your Mind, where I talk about makeup related things I have made my mind up about. If you have missed any previous videos in this series, I will link my playlist down below. Today is a very special day because I'm doing a collab with my friend Liv from Livloveshermakeup. I am so excited to be collabing with Liv. I love Liv. I have raved about her on my channel before. Liv is super bubbly, super energetic, super fun. She's super honest about products. She makes a lot of videos like my Make Up Your Mind videos where she questions brands and certain products and talks about why she isn't buying certain things. Liv is so genuine and sweet. She has always been so supportive to me. She's also my friend off camera. She helps me with a lot of personal stuff and I just love Liv. I'm so excited to be doing this video with her. Today we are talking about controversial ads. So Liv is doing a video similar to this where she talks about ads that are just bad. They're straight up bad. Obviously that video will be linked down below. We might have a couple overlaps with our ads, maybe one or two, but for the most part they will all be different. Please, if you have not already, go check Liv out, go subscribe to her, tell her I sent you. She is such a lovely, kind, genuine person. You will not regret seeing her videos. Every time I watch her videos, my day is just brightened. She has this energy on camera that a lot of people have this fake energy and hers is not. It is so real. She is so bubbly, but again, it's just genuine. She is so energetic and feisty and fun. It's just such a great time. Every time you watch her video, you're like, yes, yes, that point is great, yes. I hope that you will go subscribe to her and watch her video that is in collaboration with me. Like I said, today I'm going to be talking about controversial ads. Now, originally when I thought about doing this video, I was going to pick ads that were more problematic than controversial, stuff like ads encouraging you to stock up on a bunch of products because it's limited edition, we all know how that goes, or things telling you, you need this right now. I was going to focus more on ads that induce FOMO in their audience. Then I started to do research for this and wow, I found a lot of things that are just straight up controversial, just not good. I genuinely can't believe some of these were put out. So just a disclaimer, I always give disclaimers. This is not a drama channel. I'm not about that life. I'm not trying to cause drama. I genuinely can't believe some of these ads were put out and I want to have a dialogue with you guys. I want to talk about these ads. I want to talk about my thoughts behind them, maybe why I think some of these made it out, and then I would like to have a discussion in the comments below. Especially with this video, please be respectful. We are talking about things like racism and self-harm and just very heavy topics that can affect people very, very deeply. So yes, please be respectful and let's get into the video. As always, I'm looking at the list I made on my phone, and the first thing I want to talk about is Jeffree Star Cosmetics and the ad campaign he made with the androgyny palette. He had Nikita Dragun do a ad campaign with him. In this ad campaign, it is her next to Jeffree Star and she is wearing the palette, and the problem people had with this is she is an Asian woman and it looks like she is wearing blackface in this ad. It looks like they are trying to make her look like a black woman, which she is not. People were very, very pissed about this. I am reading an article. I did a lot of research for this video, so all of the articles that I am referencing, I will link them all down below so you can check them out for yourself. People were comparing a photo that I will insert right now of her when she looks like her normal self to the picture, and it is kind of insane. It is so many shades darker than what she really looks like. Not only was this problematic, but the way that Jeffree Star and Nikita handled this was kind of terrible. It was crazy how they blamed their customers for being mad. A lot of the controversy with the ads I'm going to talk about is from the company owners not handling backlash very well at all. I'm not sure what happened to the statement, the customer is always right, but clearly these people do not know that statement or they don't believe in that statement. In backlash to what fans were saying, Nikita posted several pictures in which she was tan, and she was like, no, I just get really tan. It's not the right move. That was the beginning of the problem, but the bigger problem is that Jeffree Star was tweeting these crazy things about what people were saying. You were saying stuff like, sorry people can be so cruel, and oh, this stuff happens every day, welcome to social media. He called people sadistic and mean. I cannot believe, if you are a company owner, you have offended many, many people. Blackface is not okay. It is not something that can be taken lightly. There are many, many people that were super offended. They weren't saying, Jeffree, you're a terrible person, with nothing to back it up. They were just saying, this ad is not okay. And he should have said, you're right. This ad is not okay. We didn't mean to make it look like that. She does get very tan, but we went a little too far. And instead, he called people mean and sadistic. And that's ridiculous and that's crazy. And it's not okay to tell people that are offended because of racism that they're not allowed to be offended. If you're offended because someone does something racist, like make an ad that looks like blackface, you're not sadistic and mean. You have every right to be offended because, yeah, that's offensive. Next, I want to talk about Kat Von D and her basket case eyeliner photo that she posted on Instagram. This was in collaboration with Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. He does have a song called Basket Case, so that is where the name of this product is coming from. This picture very much resembles the picture of Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen, picture of them handcuffed together. And if you don't know much about their relationship, I don't want to get too into it because it is a very long story, but basically they had an incredibly abusive relationship. Nancy ended up being murdered. She was stabbed in the stomach. Sid was accused of murdering her. It was not the type of thing that you should be romanticizing, and fans were incredibly angry because, according to this article, they accused the image of romanticizing Sid and Nancy Spungen's relationship, which involved domestic violence, mental illness, eventually ending in Spungen's murder and Vicious's overdose. Along with that, people were also mad because the term basket case is actually really offensive. It means that someone is so traumatized that they are incapable of functioning normally and they have to be carried in a basket. This term came from World War II, where soldiers had to be carried because of what I just said. Again, this could have been something that Kat could have said, oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't mean to romanticize mental illness at all. Basket case was only picked because it's the name of his song. There could have been a friendly way of apologizing this. Now, it wouldn't have changed this fact. People were still going to be mad, but she just did not handle this well. On Instagram, she actually left a comment saying, this by far is such a big reach and you should be ashamed of yourself for such an accusation. I don't think you realize how much harm you are actually causing by nitpicking a campaign that has nothing to do with mental illness. You are telling a customer they should be ashamed of themselves for something you did and they think that it is problematic. That is not the way to handle controversy. You do not say to your customers, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I believe this was actually commented on the Instagrammer's photos. I don't think it was on Kat Von D's photo. It is not right to, again, attack your customers for being offended by something you did. You don't need to retaliate. You are the owner of a company. You need to be a mature adult, and it just blows my mind, you know, do I think this picture was ill taste? Yeah, I don't think they should have necessarily used this picture if that relationship was so bad, and especially with the name basket case, I just don't think that was a good idea. But they did it. She stands by it. That picture got out there. That is not something we can control, but you can control how you handle the controversy behind it, and this was just so poorly handled. The next thing I want to talk about is the Urban Decay and Basquiat collaboration. I did talk about this in last week's Make Up Your Mind video, but I'm going to be talking about a completely different side of this, which is the ad campaign. Now, if you guys are unaware, Ruby Rose is the face for Urban Decay, and when this collab came out, she was in the advertisements. She was wearing a lot of color all over her body, and I guess the eyeshadows were on her eyes. The problem people had with this is the fact that Ruby Rose is a white woman who was posing for this collab. I will read from the article. It says, his iconic subversive works frequently satirize the limited Western mainstream representation of Black people that unfortunately, and here rather ironically, still exists today. So according to this article and some other articles, you know, I am not familiar with his work, but I did do research for this video. His work was about the lack of representation of Black people in the mainstream consumerist ads and community in general, and people were pissed that Ruby Rose was the face of this and not a Black woman. Now, I honestly think that they probably just did this because Ruby Rose is the face of Urban Decay, and they just thought, oh, whatever, Ruby Rose, you know, she has a very, very big name and a very big following. But I think that they should have thought more about this, and they should have thought it's already super controversial that they used an artist that is dead on makeup because he's not around to ask them, and this is the part that I talked about in last week's Make Up Your Mind video. So there's already going to be controversy around that they should have anticipated. They should have said people who appreciate art and people who are artists themselves are going to question whether or not it is right to use this artwork, but you know, they should have done their research. I think they should have talked to experts about him, and they should have said, how can we go about the ad campaign in a way that is going to make people less upset that we're using his artwork? I'm not in the room, I'm not in the conference room of Urban Decay, but it doesn't seem like they did that, and they got backlash for that, and honestly, I think that should have been expected. The next one I know Liv has talked about in a previous video. This one is kind of crazy, and I don't mean to laugh, but I'm laughing because it's just so ridiculous that they didn't see this would be a problem. This was an ad for the Urban Decay Razor Sharp Eyeliners, and the ad reads, "Ready for some razor sharp swatches, Urban Decayers?" And it has a bunch of very thin swatches on someone's wrist with the words razor sharp in the ad. A ton of people said this is alluding to self-harm, this is romanticizing self-harm, this is making a joke out of self-harm, you are using self-harm to sell your product. A lot of people were very triggered by this and very just offended and hurt and disgusted. Now, my personal take on this is I think that when they were deciding what ad to use for this product, something happened called groupthink. Groupthink is described on Wikipedia as a psychological phenomenon that occurs within a group of people in which the desire for harmony or conformity in the group results in an irrational or dysfunctional decision outcome. Group members try to minimize conflict and reach a consensus decision without critical evaluation of alternative viewpoints by actively suppressing dissenting viewpoints and by isolating themselves from outside influences. I know that was just a bunch of words. Basically, groupthink is when you're in a group of people and someone has power over someone else, like maybe it's your boss who's coming up with the idea, and people are too afraid to say that something is a bad idea because they don't want to lose their job, they don't want to lose power, or they want the decision to just go quickly and smoothly. This happens all the time, and it's really unfortunate when it happens with these bigger companies. Obviously, they were in this room making this, and I'm sure someone thought, well, that's a dumb idea, but they didn't say it. It explodes in your face when you come out with this, and then all these viewers are saying, what the hell? Maybe the person who came up with this was like, oh, I didn't even think of that, but some people in the room did think of it, and they were too scared to say something. Now, obviously, like I said, I was not in the room, but groupthink happens all the time, and I definitely think it happened in this time. So what do I think of the actual ad? Urban Decay's statement was, look, we swatch all of our things on skin because we want to show you what it looks like on skin tones, and obviously the eyeliner swatches had to be thin because it's liquid eyeliner. I agree that it should be swatched on skin, and obviously they have to be thin, but they should have seen the controversy. Maybe don't call something razor sharp, like maybe just see that that's going to be a problem itself. It's just not a great name. They should have thought ahead. You know, when we come out with this product and we do the ad campaign, people aren't going to love seeing razor sharp and super thin swatches together. I don't know, I think they should have thought more deeply about this, and I also, again, I do think groupthink happened when they were in that room. The last thing I want to talk about is, unfortunately, another thing that deals with blackface. I can't believe that this is still happening. I can't believe that ads that look like they're using blackface are still coming out. I don't know why that's even a thing, but this is the Illamasqua blackface controversy. They came out with an ad of 2 photos. It says the same thing. It has a woman wearing all white, and then it has a woman wearing all black, which, based on the controversy, I'm assuming is not a black woman. I think these are the same people doing this. I think this is a white woman doing this, and it says, "Not dreaming of a white Christmas." And people were super, super offended because obviously this looks like blackface. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I don't get this ad at all. Like, if you take away the blackface, which obviously no one is doing, but say that that wasn't a factor, I don't get how this is an ad for makeup. Like, this doesn't make me want to buy makeup. I don't get what they mean, not dreaming of a white Christmas. When you make an ad, you have something called the unique selling proposition. Every single ad or commercial ever, it has that. And the unique selling proposition is, what is the thing we are trying to do? What is the thing about this ad that makes it special, that makes it unique? I have no idea what the unique selling proposition is for this at all. The bigger problem, again, is the way they handled this. Now, they were not malicious, they were not calling people sadistic or mean, but they released a statement saying, "We thank and acknowledge your comments regarding the above image. Obviously, it was never our intent to cause offense. Illamasqua has always celebrated the right to self-expression, and we continually push creative and artistic boundaries, priding ourselves on working with models with many ethnic backgrounds and reinforce this point." So far, it's like okay-ish, but this next sentence is what the problem is. Alex Box, Illamasqua's creative director, has emphasized that this campaign is about color on skin, not color of the skin, depicting polarity between the two images. Both images are the same model, not race. Okay. Here's my problem with this. You do not get to decide what is about race and what is not, because we live in a racist world. If there was no racism in this world, then sure, maybe that sentence saying color on skin, not color of skin, maybe that sentence would have been okay, but it is not up to you to say, oh, well, we know that blackface used to happen and we know that that's what we did, but it's not about the model, it's about what's on her. You don't get to say that. You don't have the right to say that. You cannot reclaim something, and you cannot undermine the importance of what you did, importance in a negative way, to certain people. Jackie Anna made a video about people who don't see color, and it really greatly expresses the point I'm trying to make. I'm gonna link that down below. They didn't handle it terribly. I think it's great that they apologized and they said, we try to use models with all different ethnic backgrounds, but you don't get to decide. This isn't going to be racist because we're not talking about race, but then other people are talking about race. Like, no, if you do something that comes off as racist, it's about race. You don't get to say, oh, this time it doesn't. Okay. It's about creativity. No, you don't get to say that. And obviously people are going to be mad because you did. You used blackface in your ad. And you can't say, oh, it's not blackface because it's about the color, not the person. It's blackface. You don't get to make that decision. All right, guys, that was everything for this video. Again, please be respectful in the comments. Also, make sure you go subscribe to Liv. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.